Assalamualaikum everyone. So today we're going to be making rose almond barfi. I have a 15-ounce can of ricotta cheese that I'm just going to place in a bowl lined with paper towels, and then I'm going to take another paper towel and kind of squish it down and kind of take all the water out of the ricotta. So you're just going to press it lightly, and then we're going to microwave it to also remove some of the excess moisture and then cook it down in a pot. So now that it's pretty much squished, we're just going to plop it in the bowl, cover it with a napkin, and pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Now while that's microwaving, I have a can of condensed milk. We're going to be making 2 layers, an almond layer and a rose layer. So we're going to use half the can of condensed milk in each layer. So we're going to pour about half of it, 7.5 ounces, into a bowl. And then to this, I'm going to be adding half a cup of carnation milk powder. This is how it looks. It's just dry milk powder. I'm going to add that in. Now after adding the milk powder to the condensed milk, we're just going to stir this well until there's no lumps. It's the consistency you want it at. Now in a non-stick pot, I'm going to add the cooked ricotta into the pot, and we're going to cook it down for 5 to 8 minutes on medium heat. When you're first cooking it, it will kind of melt like this, but it's okay. You just want to keep on cooking it. If it starts to splutter too much, you can also lower the heat and just cook for a little bit longer. I'll show you the consistency, how it is once it's done. Now after about 5 minutes cooking on medium heat, constantly stirring, this is the consistency you want it at. When you move your spatula like this, it should take a while before it kind of congeals together. It's thickened slightly. We're going to remove it into a bowl. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee to the pot. And then we are going to add our carnation and condensed milk mixture. It's going to be quite thick, but that's okay. It's going to kind of melt in with the ghee once you start cooking it down. Going to add all of this mixture in. I have this on a medium heat, and to this I'm also going to add half a cup of sugar. I'm going to mix this well. This is also when we're going to add our almond extract. I'm going to start off with 1 teaspoon. You also want to continuously kind of stir it, or also kind of cook on the bottom and have these brown bits, but it's okay. We're just going to keep on stirring, cooking for 2 to 3 minutes. Now after about 3 minutes, we're going to add the ricotta back in, and then we're going to mix it well, cook it for a little bit, 3 to 5 minutes. At this point, you just want to taste test and see if it needs a little bit more almond extract. I'm going to add 1 more teaspoon and mix that well so the flavor really pops through. Our lined baking dish here, I'm going to just take the bottom layer, which is almond, place it right on top and spread it out. And I'm just going to use my rubber spatula to kind of spread it into one even layer. For the rose layer, we're going to do the exact same thing. I patted my ricotta dry with some paper towel. I microwaved it for 2 minutes. I'm going to pop it in our non-stick pan and do the same exact process. And after cooking the ricotta for 5 minutes, again you test it by putting your rubber spatula down the middle, and it should take a while before it kind of comes back together, and this is when you want to remove it off the heat. And just like before, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee to the pot. And then we are going to add our carnation and condensed milk mixture. I have this on a medium heat, and to this I'm also going to add half a cup of sugar. I'm going to mix this well. And just like with the almond extract, we're going to start off with 1 tablespoon of rose water, and if we need more, we'll add some later after we taste test. Mix this well. We're going to cook this on medium heat for about 2 to 3 minutes. Also going to add some red food coloring. I have the powdered version, but if you have the drops, you can use those. Be careful because the powdered version is quite concentrated, more so than the food color like drops. So you want to be careful with that. Mix this well. I'm adding red because I want it to be like a pink color since it is a rose layer. Minutes of cooking it, we're going to add our ricotta mixture and mix well. After about 5 minutes of cooking it down, you want to taste test. I'm going to add half a tablespoon more of rose water. I want to really intensify that flavor. I'm going to mix this well, cook for about another minute. You see how thick it's already gotten. Then we're going to pour this right on top of our almond layer. For our garnish here, I have these rose buds. These are edible, food grade safe rose buds, and I just took one. This is how they look. And basically peeled back the green parts, and then, sorry, my finger is full of food coloring, and just used a scissor to kind of shred some of the rose petals. And this will be our garnish. When this is still warm to the touch, we're going to add these. I just garnished it with the almonds and rosebuds. I am also going to drizzle some white chocolate right on top once it's cooled. Right now I'm going to let it cool to room temperature and then pop it in the fridge for at least an hour, if not overnight. So it's the next day, and we're going to basically use the parchment paper to take it out, and it makes it super easy. And we're going to cut off the edges and cut them into squares. So to make the edges super straight, I basically use like a cleaver, and I go towards the edge and cut that excess off, and it gives you a clean edge. And you can see the double layer, the almond on the bottom, the rose on the top, and it's super easy to cut through it. It's like butter, and I like cutting them into squares like that. And I guess the edge is like more like a rectangle, but it's okay. Now we have our barfi here. I melted some white chocolate, and I'm just going to drizzle it all over the barfi. How beautiful does that look? And then after drizzling it with some white chocolate, I added some rose petals and crushed up some almonds on top. And how deliciously easy was that? I hope you guys try it out. Assalamu alaikum.